and we are Velocities in Music. Our sump pump is ready, so we're ready. We're going to review The Kills, Blood Pressures. Do you guys know who The Kills are? I know you know who the Dead Weather are because no one shuts up about the Dead Weather. Tom and I are not fans of the Dead Weather. But The Kills do, Alison Mosshart is one of the two, I don't know the gentleman's name. It's a duo, Alison Mosshart and the guy. I feel bad about that. They have stage names that they use, but this is their 4th album, and I've been a fan of The Kills for a while now, and I was interested to hear what the Dead Weather sounds like once they were releasing their albums. And was horribly disappointed. But, I do like how The Kills have a very kind of grungy guitar, but more structured form of the White Stripes, kind of a more full sound. And that's what I would compare this to. I'd actually compare it to if you made Jack White, if, say the Arcade Fire were recording, and they, put up a big iron chain around Jack White's neck and then just chained him to an amplifier in their studio and made him play guitar. I feel like that's what this album sounds like. Because there's a lot of really good songwriting here, a lot of expansive songwriting where they use different instruments, they focus on mood, and just good songwriting. I feel like this is 11 tracks, and Tom and I were just discussing these tracks are all very strong, and how novel of a concept it is, and that we feel like artists are starting to catch on to the fact that if you have nothing but good songs on your album will inherently be a good album. It's amazing how this works. Well, The Kills, I think, did a good job on this, although I will say a lot of fans are not happy about this direction.
Oh, really? Wow.
Just because it's not as raw, it's not as biting as some of their older
That's actually what
stuff.
I liked about it, is that I think they were able to keep that edge, but then have a bigger production sound.
Right.
I mean, things are very thick on this album. It starts out with this beat that you can tell, it's not like electronic club beat or something. It's very raw. It's very visceral. It's very primal sounding, but it still maintains a good produced, polished sound.
And it still lets that energy come out.
Exactly. Yeah. But to me, the number one thing about this group is attitude and edge. Yep. And what I think really works on Blood Pressures is that they're able to contrast that attitude and that persona with a more intimate, heartfelt persona that shows up on a couple tracks. And I think some people aren't going to like that, as Jake said, because it's like, oh, you're like pussing out. But to me,
it shows variety.
Exactly. It shows a variety, and that variety brings a contrast that then makes the really edgy,
more rockin' tracks.
Yeah, more rockin' tracks, more believable, more legit. It kind of gives them street cred because it makes it more genuine.
Yeah. And one thing I got to point out is, the male vocalist does a fine job, but I love Alison Mosshart's vocals. I think that especially on this album, she showed a great range and finesse with her vocals, and it really just added another layer to this album to fall in love with. And I found that to be very impressive. My biggest critique of Blood Pressures, really, which is quite minimal in the grand scheme of things, is just that these songs are very, very focused. Almost like they spent so much time just buffing them, polishing them up, making them flawless, that it almost seems kind of trimmed of a true, genuine genius that could possibly have.
And that kind of leads into my biggest gripe, which was that I feel like they never really let loose.
That's it.
They never really explode into something. And what you were saying about kind of trimming off the fat of the album, I almost would have liked a little bit of that. And liked some of just huge freakouts to even boost up that contrast and that attitude.
Right, and maybe because of that, that's why some fans are upset. And while this isn't experimental and bombastic and out there as some of the Kills' previous albums, that if they set out, which I think they did, to make a focused, cohesive record, then I think they nailed it. I think that they totally succeeded, and I'm very pleased with this. I'm feeling like this is a very strong album. It's going to show up on my list. I'm not in love with it, but I'm definitely going to come back to it a lot. That's an 85 for me.
I'm going to give it an 83. I enjoyed this one a lot.
Sweet. What did you guys think? Did you like Blood Pressures? What's your favorite Kills album? We're liking the Kills a lot right now, and like we said, we'll probably get some crap on the comments because we don't like the Dead Weather. And I'm a big White Stripes fan, Tom. I know that you like some of the White Stripes, and not all of them.
I'm also selective on them.
Yeah, but we were not fans of the Dead Weather. So the Kills I was wording it to Tom that the Kills are everything I liked about the Dead Weather without all the crap I didn't like. And that's why I really do appreciate this band. So I'm really interested in what you guys think, so I'd love to talk to you about it, and Tom and Ian will join in on the comments, because that's what we do at VIMTV. We talk about music, you know? Or actually we dance about architecture, however you look at it. Leave us a comment, www.velocitiesinmusic.com or youtube.com/velocitiesinmusic. Check out Ian's blog and a place where he does written reviews at our Tumblr page, and that's vimtv.tumblr.com. And last and certainly not least, we are all on Facebook and Twitter. You can friend us individually. We have a VIMT page on Facebook, and we would love for you to follow us on Twitter. We're always on Twitter. I always have my phone on me tweeting. Ian's the same way. Tom's on it all the time. And we love to talk about music on Twitter. That's what we do. And we live in an age where we can do that. So let's rejoice with our music geekness. I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, moving music critique forward.